Still proudly Adderall free and freshly showered. I think I'm going to do another softball video. This one will be Mr. Repsion. His video is called Sex in the Mind of Young Preteen Girls. I'm pretty sure that by watching that video and responding to it, I'm required by Megan's Law to register, you know, with my neighbors and shit, so that's a bummer. But anyway, let's go ahead and go with it.
I am very grateful for having an older audience here on YouTube, because let's be honest, what 8-year-old girl wants to watch a video on the Bill of Rights, religion, equality, racism, or feminism, or, you know, controversial activistic topics at hand? No 8-year-old girl wants to watch that type of stuff.
I'll take your word for that, Mr. Repsion. And I'll add that your familiarity with the predilections of 8-year-old girls is a bit disturbing, but I guess that's beside the point. You are an expert on this topic.
Rather, they want to watch their young teenage heartthrobs like Justin Bieber or Nash Greer, or in this case, Kian. Today's video response is actually to a video that was made a couple months, last month, that I never saw this. Someone sent it to me today. I watched it. It was unbearable to watch, but I
feel you, brah. Unbearable to watch, but still you watch it and respond to it. I actually share that same type of pathology, so man, it's a tough cross to bear. I feel you.
I wanted to voice some of my opinions on this matter because I feel as if this is something that needs to be said.
And here's a little bonus for you guys. I haven't jerked off for 5 days now. It's been 5 days since last time I jerked off, so.
Well, if he's telling the truth, I think it needs to be said that that is goddamn impressive for a teenager. 5 days? As a teenager, I mean, 5 hours was a bit of a struggle.
Okay, so that was it for this video. Before I end this video, there are a couple things I need to clarify. Number one, I know I do have a young audience, and since I do have a young audience, I don't expect them to click this video and watch this video because of the title. It's already bad, so if they're young and they can't watch this kind of stuff, don't click the video.
You know that I know that you are spewing bullshit, and that is the most... Your reasoning here is flawed, and I'm going to explain to you why. When you title a video, the dirtiest video ever, and you know for a fact that your audience is between the ages of all 8-year-old girls and 14-year-old girls who watch you, you know for a fact that they're going to click that video. Whether or not it's information or things, or whether or not the video is inappropriate, they are going to click it because they are obsessed with you.
Right here I'm going to try out a technique that I learned from a feminist. And I'm going to give you a little bit of approval right at the outset, you know, in the hopes that it will sustain you for what's to come. You're right, Mr. Repsion. He knows goddamn good and well that everybody's going to click on that link. And if he says, now I know that because of your age group you're not going to click on the link, that's basically like daring them, saying, you know, you can't handle this, so you're not going to click on it. Of course it will have the opposite effect. So, I mean, yes, you're totally right. 100%, Mr. Repsion. Never been righter about anything in your life. You're aces, buddy.
What you're doing here through this video, that I'm not even using the whole video, it's linked down below, is that you are encouraging this type of behavior. Do you see this? These are common comments on your video, but these, you know, normal comments made by young 8-year-old girls, 9-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls.
You hear that fucking leaf blower? Use a rake, you lazy fucker! But enough distractions. Mr. Repsion, I don't want to step on your toes as a, you know, expert on the topic of what 8-year-old girls want. And, you know, I'm out of touch with the youth today. And with all these newfangled growth hormones they have in milk, maybe they're maturing more quickly. Hell, they probably are. But I would guess that these kind of comments would be coming from more the 12 end of the spectrum than the 8 end of the spectrum. I mean, I don't think 8-year-old girls just, like, be fronting like that. But then again, I am not the expert. I'm just throwing that out there. Like, hopefully you'll explain. Maybe, is it the growth hormones in the milk? I don't remember 8-year-olds being big of whores like that. But, you know, that was like back in 1904 or some shit. I'm a fogey.
Saying that they want to have sex with you, they love you, so on and so forth. The video you have made here is encouraging this type of behavior by the things that you say, which is completely and utterly, and this is coming from me, inappropriate.
You say coming from me as if most of your videos aren't you telling people that what they're doing is inappropriate. It seems to be your primary consistent thesis. What you're doing is inappropriate. It's morally reprehensible.
Rather than make a video educating these young girls or things on the topic of sex, you rather go on off about, hey, I had a wet dream. I jizzed in my underwear. Ha 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 ha.
Actually, it is pretty funny, because teenagers are usually ashamed of that shit, so when they just go around talking about it, it's funny. Like when I tell everybody about how my dick is the size of a chapstick. That's funny, because you don't expect a guy to brag about a chapstick dick.
Hey, I don't like anal sex. Hey, I masturbate this often. Hey, and you're completely right. This type of content is inappropriate for your type of audience.
Well, that's a terribly interesting thing for you to say, Mr. Repsion. So do you suppose this guy gets on YouTube, and YouTube says, here, we're going to give you this demographic for an audience. Here's a bunch of, like, preteen girls. You better make sure that your content is appropriate for them. Or do you suppose that he got on YouTube, just started doing his thing, his little shtick, and this particular demographic gravitated to him because of that shtick? And once he has that demographic that he has a success paradigm for building, do you really think it's wise to sharply alter his known success paradigm? As a guy who is pretty savvy at YouTube whoring and pandering, you already know that what you're saying is bullshit.
Now, I'm not saying that you can't post or talk about this stuff on your channel.
Really, because you have a pretty terrible way of not saying that, in my humble opinion.
All I'm attempting to say to you is that you need to be conscious of the things that you say, especially to your young female audience. And that your response here that don't click on the video because of the title, you're a fucking moron if you really, honestly, sincerely believe that. Because you know for a fact, and I know, that it is clickbait material. When you are an idolized figure like yourself, a hot teenage heartthrob.
Well gosh, Mr. Repsion, I'm sensing a little bit of jealousy here. Like, maybe someone is starting to notice the ceaseless progression of time and its ravages, which can't really be avoided. Maybe somebody is realizing that he didn't really capitalize on his teenage heartthrob years when he could have. Do not ask for whom the bell tolls, Mr. Repsion. It tolls for thee.
Girls are going to click your videos. If you have a title that says, don't click this video, they're going to click it.
We've been over this, and I absolutely fucking refuse to tell you that you're right twice in the same video. Onward we go.
Number 2, a lot of things that I answered in this video were pretty vulgar and pretty imaginative. I think that's the correct word for this sentence.
Yes and no, although I would not use the word imaginative to simply describe a wet dream and how many times that you masturbate during the week. Like, that's not imaginative. Nothing that you present here is imaginative whatsoever. It's generic sexual things that, in all honesty, should be kept to yourself, but you're pandering and exploiting your young female audience purposefully by making this type of content.
And this is really frustrating. I have one level of Angry Birds Star Wars 1 that I haven't gotten 3 stars on yet. It's this one right here. See, and you start off with the little bird that turns into 3 little birds, and I try knocking these little things in the path of the laser so it reflects back through this shell here, and I can't ever quite get it to work right. I try to sling them around this planet, turn it into 3 birds, so that it knocks down the tower of glass, and then one goes and knocks down this laser gun, which then fires around in a circle and kills them. But I just can't seem to fucking conquer it. By the way, do they have trigger warnings for attention deficit disorder? I just totally lost track of what was going on here. He's exploiting them. You know, they're the ones watching the shit. They're gonna get their source somewhere. Exploiting them. If anything, they are exploiting him because they are constraining his development as an artiste. He's got to keep on pandering to them. I think we should round up all of these 8 and 9-year-old girls and give them a talking to about exploiting people, because it's just not fucking right.
Again, it is your channel. You have the freedom of speech to say whatever you want. But this goes back to the whole Nash Greer instance where I made What Guys Look for Girls in video response, where his audience is all young 8-year-olds between ages 8 and 14, and he makes a statement to these young girls saying, excuse me, my voice. He makes a statement saying that girls should shave their arm hair. And he wouldn't date someone who doesn't shave their arm hair.
How in the name of fuck is that not 3 stars? Oh, damn it!
And right there, he puts this pressure on girls that in order to be accepted by him, or all guys for that matter, that they need to shave their arms. That is so damaging to a girl's self-esteem. And then I'm not saying that this is damaging to girls' self-esteem. What I'm saying is that what you said in this video is completely inappropriate. I wouldn't say... Actually, you know, I would say this. I think it's wrong for you to talk about this type of stuff when your audience is of the age demographic that it is.
You know, sometimes people will ask me, why don't you ever go out with redheaded girls? Well, what do you have against them? And I say, well, I've had a couple of redheaded girlfriends. And here's my perception of redheaded girls, and of course I include you in this, Mr. Repzion. It's like they go through life with this prime directive, this deeply implanted axiom like, I know what everyone should be doing, and it is my God-given duty to vociferously inform them of it. I don't get it. I mean, what the fuck is up with that? How does being a redhead make you like that? It must be some sort of pleiotropic gene. I mean, I understand the specific mutation and how it causes red hair, and even how it causes a lower tolerance for pain, but I don't understand why it makes you a bossy fucking bitch. Could we get like a biologist version of Neil deGrasse Tyson to dumb that shit down for me?
But that is the whole point of this video. You guys are gonna ask me some dirty questions, and I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna answer these dirty questions because I fucking want to. There's no other explanation. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Because you fucking want to. That is the solution. Because you fucking want to.
Ripley's, you will not believe why this guy's doing something. No, listen, because he wants to. Stop the presses, then start him again with this story. You're gonna make $1 million goddamn dollars.
Because you fucking want to. So it's actually not about what's best for your audience and the material that you should be presenting to them. It's because you fucking want to talk about how often that you fap every day. It's because you want to tell them that you jizzed in your pants that morning from a wet dream. It's because you want to. So it's actually not taking into consideration all of the millions of young girls who watch you. It is about you, what you want. So let's just say, for example, that just because I'm mad or just because I want to, I upload a video using slurs such as using faggot slurs and calling people faggots. I know that's more of an extreme example, but I did it because I want to. I didn't take in consideration how my words would affect people and how I have a lot of people from the LGBT community who watch me.
Well, how very conscientious of you to be aware that your words can offend others and taking pains to prevent that. You're a stellar guy, Mr. Repzion.
How that would hurt them or how that would offend them. And by all means, I don't make my content to not offend people. I don't care if I offend someone.
That isn't direct goddamn contradiction with what you just fucking said. I have grave concerns regarding your quote-unquote brain quote-unquote function.
But what I'm trying to say is that I said what I did because I wanted to, and I didn't take in consideration how it would affect my audience. That to me shows that you have no discretion for the content that you make, that I could easily foresee you doing some stupid shit like Nash Greer has done, or something to that level.
Well, yeah, I can foresee that too, because those levels aren't perceptible to people who aren't inflamed gingers, so, I mean, can't see it, how can you avoid it, right?
And the main gist of this video is not to I'm not hating on this individual. I am simply trying to make the point that you, when you have an audience of that age demographic, need to be careful on what you say and what you do and what you talk about. What you say and what you do can affect people, but most of all, your content can in fact be inappropriate for the age demographic that you are appealing to.
Okay, listen, you're not a teen heartthrob anymore, and you couldn't be if you wanted to be. But that doesn't mean that you need to transition over all of those different things and go directly to nagging old woman. Alright, there's a whole lifespan between teen heartthrob and nagging old woman, shaking her arthritic fist at those kids. Just making you aware of your options.
But in all honesty, I don't think that you really even care about that, because if you did, you wouldn't have said what you did just a few minutes ago. You and me as YouTubers have a responsibility to be held accountable for what we do and what we present and the things that we say in all of our content. That includes me to 100%.
Well, I believe that you're totally genuine in believing this assertion. The evidence for it being the bland pap that you regularly churn out. But other people don't have to obey your highfalutin principles, so just keep that in mind.
And I'm so thankful that my audience is not a young age demographic like this, because
They see me rolling, they hatin', patrol.
I don't know what I'd do. I probably would have to stop making YouTube videos because, well, my content is very mature. I honestly cannot wait till the day that I see someone who is a teenage heartthrob among young girls like this, who actually uses their fame in an effective manner.
Oh, Mr. Epsilon, you just keep waiting, but know that long before that day comes, you shall have a hideous, ancient, cragged, warlike visage such as mine. And believe me, that day will come, and it's not far in the future. Understand that. And with this cruelty, I end the video. Everybody have a nice day.